Here is the best thing about the Terminator 2 Famicom game. Thanks to playing this game, I now know that Japanese gamers call the LGN logo the Rainbow of Death. Fortunately for me, the Famicom received very few LGN games. It was WWF WrestleMania Challenge and Terminator 2, so I don't have to worry about the Rainbow of Death any longer. Obviously, Terminator 2 is based on the Arnold Schwarzenegger action film. You know, the Terminator movie that they've spent the past 30 years trying to redo. There's actually quite a few games based on the movie. In fact, there's quite a few side-scrolling action games based on the movie. This version wound up here, and also on the Sega Master System and Game Gear. I need to mention something up front here. Terminator 2 is difficult to the point where you could consider it broken. It is technically possible to complete the game, but they really don't want you to do it. You get 5 lives, no continues, there's no health recovery, even between stages, and the second stage has a bad tendency to instant kill you over and over again. Even if you manage to get past the second stage, which I couldn't, then you still have to deal with infinitely spawning enemies in stages that are mazes, while you have a finite number of bullets to clear the game with. This game is brutal, unfair, and completely unfun. Well, let's back up a little bit here and just look at level 1, because I have a lot of footage of it. The T-800 arrives, and its first goal is to beat up all of the bikers in the area. And the first thing you're going to notice is that the T-800 isn't exactly a killing machine. It might not feel pity, or remorse, or fear, but apparently it does feel fists to the face. All Kyle Reese had to do was punch it a few times. Who knew? Your goal as you progress through the first stage is to just kill a bunch of enemies, and then you'll be allowed to move on to the next segment, where you kill a bunch of enemies, and then move on to the next segment, and repeat. Now you might think it's a good idea to stand there and hit the B button, which makes you punch, but it takes a lot of hits from a robotic killing machine to put one of these guys down. So a better strategy is to jump on things by hitting A, and then jump off them, landing on people's heads. Yeah, the Mario strategy is way more effective than punching. This also gives you the benefit of easily avoiding the indestructible motorcycles that drive past every once in a while. If you make it into the bar, and beat up some more guys who are just hanging around, then you'll fight a boss. And this boss has a tendency to just kick you continuously, and the only thing you can do is run away. What you have to do to this boss is punch it enough times consecutively that he flinches all the way back. See those 2 frames where he's leaning extra far? That's how you know it worked. If you do that 6 times, then he goes down. With the boss defeated, you finally have a weapon. As you progress through the game, the score determines what weapon you'll get. Stage 2 has you driving your motorcycle through the Los Angeles River, and here B fires forward while A does nothing. Technically, you have limited ammunition on this stage, but it never shows you how much ammo you have, so you don't know until it runs out. You have to shoot open gates and then drive through them, but because of the poor perspective and they don't have things quite lined up right, you can shoot a gate open and then collide with the fence even though it looks like you're going to drive right through. Colliding with anything is instant death, and as a reminder, you have 5 lives and 0 continues. So the first few times you get here, will just be going, what's happening? What killed me? Oh, I guess it's game over now. Sometimes a semi will drive up behind you, and you have to press down and mash B rapidly to knock it backwards. If you didn't know about that control, you'll probably spend a few laps of the game trying to figure out how to make the motorcycle go faster or drive around things. But no, the solution is press down and mash B as fast as you can. Apparently, there is an extra life hidden on the stage if you shoot a car, but I never spotted that. Unsurprisingly, as a game that was originally from the Rainbow of Death, Terminator 2 on the Famicom does not have a lot of fans in Japan. It's down there with the worst of the system. And of course, I hated it. I pounded my head against the wall for an hour trying to play it. By the time I reached the 15-minute mark, I could mostly make it through the first stage without dying, but that was still a long process, and then I got a few seconds of attempting the second stage. Not that I'd expect it to get any better if I reached the stage where I wandered a maze of infinitely spawning enemies looking for keycards, but at least it'd be something different. This one's just incompetently made on all levels.